Hey there, this is Darren, K4DMN, Kilo 4 Delta Mike November. This year I participated in Winter Field Day 2026. This is an annual event for ham radio enthusiasts to demonstrate their communication capabilities and prepare for an emergency situation during the wintertime. Here I am setting up my antenna. The antenna I used was a Chameleon MPAS 2.0. I used it in the vertical whip position. I used 3 radials running south, west, and east with my coax cable going north toward my pop-up camper. I was deployed in my Flagstaff MAC 206M pop-up camper. It was nice and cozy in there for the most part. I ran the coax through a zipper opening in the canvas on the south side of the camper. I used World Radio League for logging. It worked really well for me. As an Apple Macintosh user, there aren't a lot of good logging options out there. And I found that World Radio League filled that gap and worked very well for me. World Radio League is a website, and I was wondering how I might be able to have CAT control while using their web-based logging system. That was solved by a new beta feature they have, which is a downloadable app that you install on your computer called WRL CAT Control. The website loads the WRL CAT Control program, which you then configure to connect to your radio via USB. I found that it worked perfectly for me, and I was very pleased to use it. Every time I rotated the dial on my Yaesu FT-891, the CAT control program picked it up and populated the correct frequency in my log entries on the website. It was really pretty cool. Kudos to World Radio League, they did a really good job with this. For this event, the radio that I used was the Yaesu FT-891. I used an LDG Electronics Z-11 Pro II auto tuner with the MPAS antenna. I also had a TigerTronics SignaLink for data when operating JS8 call. The SignaLink is part of my standard setup as I do a lot of digital operations, and it worked perfectly as usual. My laptop was a MacBook Pro 14-inch M5. Here is some footage of my operation.
QSOs Field Day from Whiskey 4, Alpha Charlie W4AC.
Kilo 4 Delta Mike November.
Kilo 4 Delta Mike November. Copy 2 India, West Central Florida. QSO?
QSL, and I am 1 mobile, 1M, 1 Mike, Georgia, 1 Mike, Georgia.
Roger, copy your 1 Mike, Georgia. Thank you for the call, sir. Winter Field Day, November Delta 0 Charlie.
Kilo 4 Delta Mike November.
QRZ?
Kilo 4 Delta Mike November.
4 Delta Mike, try it again.
Kilo 4 Delta Mike November.
There we go. Kilo 4 Delta Mike November. Thanks. I think we doubled earlier. 1 Hotel, Minnesota, Mike November.
QSL, I am 1 Mike, Georgia, 1 Mike, Georgia.
QSL, Georgia. Thanks a bunch and good luck. QRZ, November Delta 0 Charlie. Copy 1 Henry, Alpha Zulu. Good luck, my friend. 73, Alpha Delta 5 on Kilo, Georgia.
Kilo 4 Delta Mike November.
Kilo 4 Delta Mike November. Please copy Kilo Hotel, Oscar Kilo.
QSL, I am 1 Mike, Georgia, 1 Mike, Georgia.
Okay, thank you for 1 Mike, Georgia. Be safe out there, my friend. Good luck, 73. Kilo Alpha Delta 5, Oscar Kilo, Georgia. This is Kilo 4 Juliet Charlie, Winter Field Day.
Kilo 4 Delta Mike November.
Who's the Delta Mike November, please?
Kilo 4 Delta Mike November.
Kilo 4 Delta Mike November. Good afternoon. 1 Oscar, West Central Florida.
Copy that. I am 1 Mike, Georgia, 1 Mike, Georgia.
Got 1 Mike, Georgia. Please stand by for second operator. Good afternoon. You're ready to go. This is the 7 Op Kilo 5 Lima Delta K5LD. Also, 1 Oscar, West Central Charlie Foxtrot in Park, US at 6298. That's 6298 if you need a QSL.
QSL, and thank you for that. I do collect parks on the air, so thank you very much. Thank you, 73.
Great day, 73. This is Kilo 5, Lima Delta, Kilo 5, Lima Delta, Winter Field Day, with two operators coming to you live and direct from Frostproof, Florida. Here is that. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Bravo uniform, CQ Winter Field Day.
Kilo 4, Delta Mike November.
Kilo 4, Delta Mike November, copy 1 India, Oscar November Echo.
QSL, please copy 1 Mike Georgia, 1 Mike Golf Alpha. QSL?
1 Mike Golf Alpha, 73, QRZ. CQ Winter Field Day, Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Bravo uniform.
After the phone contacts, I switched to JS8 call, where I made several more contacts digitally. On the second day of the event, Metro Atlanta, Georgia was experiencing an ice storm. Here are some shots of the camper where you can see the ice accumulation that occurred overnight. My dog joined me for most of my operation. He stayed up on the bed. For all of the next day, I only operated JS8 call, where I made several contacts. I don't have any video footage of that, unfortunately, but I do have some pictures. Also, here is my battery setup. I had 2 lithium iron phosphate batteries. One is in the red case with the voltage readout. The other is a BioNO that's just in its normal blue wrap. Also behind them, you see a Jackery 1000, which recharged my batteries and laptop. I operated on 10 watts the whole time, which I thought was going to qualify me for QRP operation. While that was fine for phone, when I switched to digital, I didn't realize that I had to move down to 5 watts in order for the digital operation to qualify for QRP. So I didn't get the QRP multiplier. Next time that I participate in Winter Field Day, I'll have to be more careful about this. In total, I made 29 contacts. That's 47 points, 11 points for phone contacts, and 18 points for all of my digital contacts. But then I had a couple of multipliers. I had a multiplier for using 100% alternative power, as I worked completely on battery power. And I had a multiplier for multiple modes, as I worked both phone and digital. While I didn't have a huge number of contacts or points, I had a good time, and really I just wanted to participate in the event, work phone and digital, and learn how to use the new logging software, and all of that was quite successful in my book. So until next time, or my next video, 73.